today's session, and I'll be doing this a real quick. My name is Clement Steven, and I'm so happy to have you join me all over the world. I know this is almost like the very first time we're connecting, and it is beautiful, and we're highly respected for this moment. As it may, we're talking briefly on what borders us as people, and our collective consciousness, and the way we live, and what we want to be. However, there is this rampage that is going on around the society, where sometimes it amazes me how um, people become so scared of loving. People become so scared of intermingling, for the purpose of the fact that, okay, they fear that their companion, so-called, will not take mentally, emotionally, and all of that. So, however, this is a great concern, and because of this gap in the development of youth, this has also resulted in exploitation of those, people who pride themselves to be the people who now pride themselves to be mediators uh, between couples who are in a relationship. So, but now, why it now becomes a bit of a problem, or let's say a major problem, is now the fact that the way the young people, approach this event is actually very, very, uh, very unmature. You see, my understanding about life from a universal perspective that I'm speaking is that love is not something that you force it. Okay, and when I mean force it, is you create it. You cannot create love. That which is divine, that which is of God, cannot be created by man. So what we should have done by our evolution, by our understanding, is the fact that um, this phenomenon of love is there. We live in it. Example: the air that you breathe, the water you drink, and the food you eat. They're not created by man. All right, these things are just part of this whole life that we live in, the whole structure, that have made us humans, made us into this earth that we see ourselves. But I don't think that it is normal for one to force breathing. If you see yourself forcing yourself to breathe, we know that something is actually wrong. It's going to be a medical condition, or whatever you want to say about it, and all of that. So, but when it comes to relationship, it still makes me feel very much, awkward how relationship don't work. But they don't work because uh, ideas, this is how I want it, this is how you want it. Now, the idea of this is how, in my perspective, in my own will, always destroys it. And of course, like I used to say, I said, that which can be forced, it does not exist. All right. So it's like saying, if you put aside God on the right hand side and you put stone on the left hand side, of course, if you could mix God and stone together, one has to give way. The soft has to give way for the hard. So that which is soft always gives way for that which is hard. Of course, it strengthens the ego, and it now feels as though um, the stone, or the person with the stronger willpower, you know, actually win the situation. But it is not so. It is the reverse. You see, this thing we call love or whatever. It's not. I don't see it as a big deal. If you can have your baby or your child or your offspring, how do you love them? You love them naturally. You love them. Whatever they do to you, you love them because you're not expecting anything from them. So, but in a situation where you are expecting something to be done, an appraisal from your beloved child, or this and that, you are going to have this. You are going to fall short from that expectation, and this is actually going to break your heart. So your heart will be broken. It is not something new. So in our quest for love, in our quest for in error, is that we are actually going to subdue. We are actually going to win. We're actually going to manifest our perfection, our side. This is me. It has to be like this. This is me. It cannot go outside of me and all of that. And then that's point one. Then the second or third point is that, a certain level of entitlement mentality in my partner to always do this for me. I'm expecting my partner to must do this for me. I'm expecting my partner, of course, he was the one or she was the one that pledged a certain level of love. So therefore, has to, or she has to fulfill is like an obligation. It has become a rule because now he said he's in love with me. After all, he's one that said he loves me now. So when you come up with situations or statements or feelings that begins to feel as though it is a right or it's a privilege, or as the case may be, or let me say, it's a right for someone to love you, or someone loves you, they have to sacrifice themselves for you as the as the as the idea of love, for example. All right, someone has to die, to prove that their love is true and all of that crap. You see, these expectations actually leads to the breakdown of love because you are expecting that this person should do this, which is a doing, which is on the part of the we. And love is so sensitive and so soft that anything you do to it, anything you add to it that is not love will break down love. So now, but in love, and everything is possible, but you don't add to the chemistry of love. If you add to the chemistry of love, you are going to lose it. So the whole nonsense about people teaching about love and relationship, it's there's so much noise that has been created about this subject that young uh, young adolescents who are of a certain age of relationship become so scared because there are too many ideas. This is how to happen like this. This have to do like this. I love him. I love her. And at the end of the day, they didn't go out. It didn't go as we planned. He's like this. He doesn't provide much. He's so dirty. He's so not caring. He's too hardened. And all of that. So you see, when you bring all of this into your love chemistry, you are the one who actually have planted the thistles into the into that love, and of course it's not going to happen. All right, but it is so painful that, well, let me put this way, it is even worse that you move from one being to another person, to another person, to another person, to another person, and you say you're looking for love. Now, you go to person A, you learn, you fight, you say you have gained experience, I have gained experience, I cannot fail, I cannot fail. This person has shown me, has taught me some lessons about relationship. I've learned not to trust anybody, I've learned not to yield, then you move from A and then you go to B. And B is so unique as C, as D. So what may be possible with you with A is not possible in B, right? And then what are you going to have now? You're not going to now have a certain characteristics that you never saw in A. And then after some moments you get angry and say, no, this is not what I'm expecting, and off, you are gone. After all of these experiences, when you now come out of them, you now become a resentful being. Now you now become so such that everybody, everybody cannot be loved. Nobody loves you, and you throw a lot of tantrums. You are now closed. You are protecting whatever you feel is valuable to you. You feel that I cannot love anybody on certain conditions, and those conditions that make you love somebody must be to your terms and all of that. See, all of these things is a problem of civilization. Primitive people love a lot because they are more tending to the natural state of reality up to the primal zone. This understanding of the primal reality makes someone who is closer down, to life loves. You see, one of the failure of love, like I've said formerly, is when it is based through expectation, and of course, the idea that the man provides for the woman, or the woman must do this for the man, and this one, they are not supposed to be spelled out. It shouldn't be something that should be spelled out. But in love, anything is possible. In love, everything is possible. And it is that love that we're talking about. Secondly, or is it? Let's say the fourth point is this, that in the act of loving somebody, all right, you are doing good to yourself, because it is the love quality that you develop that will carry you as a vehicle and prepare you to your moment of death. All right. It is the love that you have developed through loving men, through loving your children, through loving your fellow man, through loving your wife, your husband, your sisters, family members, even your enemies. Now, as you keep loving through those, faculties, what happens that you tend to see that your loving capacity increases as you keep on loving different type of people with different minds, different faculties, and different difficulties understanding religion and all of those stuff. When you are capable to knowing the dynamics of loving and how it operates, you are, as a matter of fact, and would be very, 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 very smooth. All right. Yes, people will say, but I love him and I was taking advantage of someone want to kill me because I love him. So I lost my wealth because I showed him love, and therefore this happened, that happened, and I died. Yes, it is so, because love is very soft. Okay. In loving, what happens is that when you love truly and when you love, deeply, what happens is that there is a relapse, there is a let go. Love and death has something to do together. Love and death, they are brothers and sisters. If you are ready to love, then you are ready to die. From the Christian spirituality, Jesus loved the world, and the love was enormous. He died on the cross to save humanity. That's what the scripture puts it. But what happens finally is that love, in deep love, death is there. Okay. And of course, this love on this other side, sex is also an aspect of love, but it's at the lower level of loving. All right. But you can use that sex, all right, to go towards the divine. But what's happening to us these days is that we take sex as a sport. All right, many male and female, they all feel it's something you just. When you put yourself in such situations, you do yourself, the harm that is going to now put you on a roundabout. You will not be able to have yourself together. Okay, sex is such that it titillates you, but it is expected to transport you into a higher level of love. And someone will say, the more sex you have, all right, the higher your love, and the higher your love, the less sex you have. So it could start from there. For people who have not had glimpses of those encounters, sex is a gate. And people who are preaching that this thing should not be should not be taught, sex should be abolished. And of course, all over the century, sex has been abolished. Premarital sex and all of those stuff. But look at the society. It is sold in the marketplace. If you want to buy it, you can buy it. In fact, you may not even have to pay for it. And this is such a phenomenon that is so tremendously worshipped, because it is the first gate. All right, it's like a portal into the dimension of God. And people who, in their error, have lived just at that level. All right, what happens to them now is that they become entrapped and they cannot move on. So even in so-called marriages, if you marry your spouse because you are looking for, someone to talk to relieve your tension and all of that, when you have your first glimpse of those sex, what happens is that it is supposed to allow you to go deeper and deeper and deeper. And like I said, the ultimate goal of love is so that it will teach you how to love the divine, how to be in union with the divine element, how to be in union with the divine forces. And when love is not heady, love is not heady. And love is something that cannot be explained. All right, marriage can be explained, A and B, because if the rudiments and the foundation of this marriage was not put through, was not thought through, and the parties therein did not really realize their full potentials. Now, this now results to the frustrations that come because of excessive expectation and all of that, because of the excessive expectations and all of that. So, but if the right understanding is given, the right mentoring is given, we cannot understand it, because the main purpose is that this sex or this love that we're talking about is not something that can be defined. It's like God. What is love and what is God? I get it. So what happens is that there are too many definitions of love. I cannot define what love is, but I know love is a genuine. If I must define it, love is a genuine, compassion, right? Yes, that's the word. It's a genuine compassion to allow yourself a vulnerable vessel for your beloved to ride through. So love is always open. It's not as if when someone is vulnerable to you, it simply means that the person is weak. No, the person is not weak. Someone who has agreed in love to be vulnerable is not a weak person. Yes, one who is vulnerable for love is not a weak person. He appears to be weak, but he's not. So that's just what I'm trying to say on that ground. So it is like medicine. Love and medicine goes together. Love and meditation goes together. Love and medicament goes together. If you show yourself as an epitome, as an effigy, as a system of love, you will come to see that with love, with genuine openness, you will be able by love, non-authoritarian. If you will be able by love, to influence the heart of a man, all right, or of your beloved, or someone who you feel is proving difficult, or someone who you feel is not doing the right thing, or someone who you feel, all of this and all of that. So, but love in itself cannot be defined, and I'm doing my best not to, mess it around, like, going to talk about it, brood about it, define it. When somebody behaves like this, it means this person does not love you. When somebody behaves like that, it means that person loves you. And of course, because of this, there are lots of fear here and there, and everybody's confused. Somebody is married, at some point, the person dashes out, that person is married, that person dashes. So the question is, why? What is the root cause of this, instabilities that are happening in our relationship? All right. So, what is the root cause? Is it that they were just acting to be in love, or is it that they were expecting better, or is it that God is not at the center, or is it that they don't know that God should be at the center, or is it that at some point they just get fed up, or is it that they are not matured emotionally and all of that? So, but I want to say that until first of all you are full of, you are first of all complete in yourself, you cannot love another person, be it anything outside of you. If you are not first of all in union with yourself, loving yourself, and loving yourself without having any form of complex, because the new from what we've seen is there's so much complex, superiority complex, inferiority complex, and complex is also one of the problems that is creating breakups in relationship. And of course, we know that whoever you feel you are in love with, you will not be with the person forever, because death is there. God is there to separate it. Yes, you can say till death do us part. So if there was no death, you will continue to be with the person forever and ever. And people who have also experienced life have also come to say that beyond the beyond, that there is no such thing as marriage. So marriage is just a system that is put together for the longevity of human race, for human biology to continue. So most of us just stop at procreation. You just give your sperms and you flood your room, the community with children that bears your legal names and all of that. So, but at the end of the day, when you leave it at that level, now you now create, children or offspring that don't know themselves. And when they don't know themselves, they will be looking for love. They will be looking for attention. They will be looking for the essence of the reason why they are being born. And of course, many of us have been given essence. You have to be a doctor, you have to be a lawyer, you have to make my family proud, you have to make yourself great, you have to be number one amongst everybody, and everybody is racing to be the number one. And in that context, what happens is that there is struggle, and where there is struggle, then there is no love. You cannot love another person when there is struggle. When you are not when you are not settled, when you have no complete, complete nature, when you are not a complete, you have no insight, you have no reality. What happens is you struggle, you feel that everybody else is your enemy. The state is your enemy. This or anybody that does not agree with you is your enemy. It will make you not to get to your goal. The same goal, orientation, and all forms of orientations. And of course, these orientations, lead us into trouble. And of course, we get to live a life that at the end of we become, resentful. We now begin to feel as though the world system has cheated us, that nobody told you the truth, that how did I allow myself to be used by the system of this world? Yes, it is so, because if from the very beginning, the foundation of self-love is not imposed, you see people keep moving, looking for love. Why are you looking for love? You are love. You are not expected to look for love, because love is not missing. You are created with love. You are created by love, and the love process, tangible and intangible, flows in us. For example, from a biological perspective, there is a love bond between the molecules, of your red blood cells and your heart. There's a love bond between the oxygen and your brain. There's a love bond between all those processes that are happening at the biochemical level, at the anatomical level, the physiological level. So the moment they get angry, cancer will result. Cancer is not defined as the proliferation of what of cells, within a certain region that is not contained. So which means the cells are angry. They say, no, 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 no. I don't want anyone to control me. They make so much population and all of that. creates cancer, unwanted, or what is called uncontrolled cell growth. Okay, uncontrolled cell growth. So that is cancer at the very rudimentary, um, this definition of it. So love is something that is in everything, animate, inanimate, in us. Okay, and we as one of the as the living expression of this earth, we are expected to be loved, not to expect love. The art of expecting love is greedy, and any idea that gives you an expectation to receiving will create upheaval, will create fever. All right, it will create anxiety, tension. It will create strife. It will create to make you feel holier than thou, that you are the center of the cyclone, center of the universe. Everything should revolve around you. And of course, if you have such kind of mental development, if I have such kind of mental development, you have such kind of mental development, the next lady there, the next person there, and all of that, how can we coexist together with such kind of mind? Where when I see the next person on the street, I am hoping, what can I get out of this person? When I see the next woman, I'm saying, okay, I'm falling in love with this person because there's a because now, because of what I can get from this person. I am being of this person just because of what this person can give to me and all of that. So at the end of the day, when we look at the structure of our loving as being taught by most of these our counselors, they are not inserting the real and the true foundation. Love is not expecting, love is giving. Love is not expecting, love is giving. Give everything, even if you do not have. The attempt to give shows that you are willing to give. And if it is he who gives that receives, nothing is lost in the process. And I want to thank you all, for taking out your time to follow this discourse. Like I said, I don't want to make this discourse too long, but you can send in your comments, and you can like, you can share, you can do whatever you want to do. You can mutilate this video if you want. You can tumble it. You can turn it. All right, as in whatever you want. I still have my own belief that love is the most simple phenomenon, and it is so simple. That is why it is very difficult to understand. When something is so simple, it becomes almost within and beyond the grasp. Someone once said that it takes great intelligence to make complex things simple. It takes great insight to make complex mechanism very simple mechanism. So wherever you find something that appears simple, I want to assure you that it's an extreme intelligence that has been able to make a complex situation, such as love, very simple. So you can live a life of love. You can be a giver in love. You can give without, you can love, give without expecting. If you try this and your life does not remain, and your life doesn't pull forward into the direction of love and divinity, you can come and hold me responsible. Love is a cover. It's like water. It dissolves everything. So love dissolves and builds. Just give. Don't try to change anybody. Don't try to prove any will. Don't try to prove any might. And don't also go into trying to water down, trying to do all of that. No, 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 no. Whatever you do, let love be at the center of your doing. If love is at the center of your doing, you have fulfilled, you have fulfilled everything. I get it. So it is not as complicated as we expect it, or we are seeing it. If you can love yourself wholeheartedly and expect nothing from yourself, you are not giving yourself you're not giving yourself an ambition an overzealous ambition that you cannot fulfill. You know you cannot fulfill. Why else do you project it to someone? You can still get, all right, but you will not get out of coercion. You will get out of love. You can still receive, but your reception is because you have given. And one who is full, one who is rich, does not command. If you are rich, you are rich. One of my last words I will say, the earth is rich, no matter what you do to it. If you like, bulldoze all the trees that are on this earth. If you like, divide the earth, burn all the trees, kill all the animals, do all what you want to do. The earth is rich. It will regenerate again. It will be as though nothing was lost. And in fact, nothing was lost, because the power of the richness of the earth lies in the earth. So and such is you. As much as you understand this nitty-gritty, this truth that I am love, therefore I expect no love. I will receive your love, but I will transform your love by giving back to you love. So all I have to give is love. Nothing more, nothing less. And I can assure you with this, you will have a foundation and a fantastic life, and such that nothing can come in between your love. No idea can poison your love. Your love will be as it is unto eternal. So I want to thank you for your time, and like I said, this is Clement Stephen. For now, no nomenclature. All right. So this is Clement Stephen, and I remain my humble self. And I pray you that you have a wonderful evening. Of course, today is the 4th of September, 2023, and this video was made within the hours of about 30 minutes. That's like from 7:30, no, from 7 o'clock to 7:45, as the case may be. So I want to thank you, and remain blessed. Thank you. Peace be unto us all.